Welcome back. Ndinithanda, nonke, emakhaya, a term used and associated to broadcast legend Noxolo Grootboom. Now, she graced our screens for decades, and on Tuesday, after 37 years in the media industry, she read her final isiXhosa news bulletin on the SABC. Now, get this, President Cyril Ramaphosa actually postponed his address to the nation to allow South Africans to watch Grootboom one last time. She joins us now to reflect on her career. What a momentous occasion. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us. I know it's been a long time coming. How does it feel being on eNCA?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
It feels wonderful. It feels great. It feels good. Home away from home.
I'm glad. Maybe it can be a new home. Who knows? So tell me about that moment. You read your last bulletin. We all saw you very emotional at the end of it. That's a culmination of 37 years of broadcasting. How did you feel? What went through your mind?
Yeah, it was the toughest bulletin that I've ever done. You know, I was somehow wondering whether I've made the right decision or not. It felt like a mother abandoning her own child, you know, not just anywhere, but in a dustbin. And it filled me with so much guilt and pain. It was the I don't know how to describe it, but it was the most difficult.
And many people in the newsroom, of course, looked up to you. I've heard so many journalists talk about how you inspired them, how many of them got into the profession watching you growing up as children. You say that you feel like you left them in a dustbin. Why are you leaving with a sentiment like that?
You know, it's sad for me that my retirement should be tied to an era where my colleagues are shedding tears instead of rejoicing as I say goodbye. You know, it fills me with pain knowing that today some of my colleagues are seated at home wondering what the future holds for them. Some of them are very young. Some of them, they used to come to me with their problems. We used to pray together. I used to give them, you know, that warm motherly hug. But today, let us say no more.
Yeah. So let's talk about South Africans showing you the love they've showed you. You've seen it on social media. You've seen it everywhere you've gone. When did you realize that you were the news sweetheart of this country?
Well, somehow I knew because of, you know, for the longest time, they've wanted me as their newsreader, you know. And the things that they would say about me, you know, from all those research reports, when I meet them in the streets, etc. I knew that South Africans appreciated me. But I never expected the outpouring of love as soon as word came out that I was going on retirement.
Yeah. I mean, the president even moved his address to the nation for your last broadcast.
Yes.
That tells you just how special you are to South Africans. Another thing I want to ask you about is we saw the Thando Mahlangu issue raised in the past couple of days, right? Of course, he was kicked out of a mall because of his traditional attire. Given your love for isiXhosa, for the culture, for the language, what do we need to do as South Africans, as government, to protect and preserve African languages and cultures?
You know, I wouldn't say, it's just simple to accept that South Africa is made up of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, R, Z cultures, you know, and give us space and give us space to dance, open up the dance floor for us. You know, it has been closed for a long, long, long time, you know, during the apartheid era. You know, it's high time for us to be given enough and equal space to shine. You don't have to do much, you know, just to acknowledge that amaXhosa are there, amaNdebele are there, amaZulu are there, amaPedi are there, Swatis, you know, amaVenda, you know, and give us space to dance, man. Yes, we've got lovely moves.
Yes, you do. I've been trying to learn some of them, I can tell you that much. So let's go back to your time at the SABC. Of course, 37 years is a long time. The journalism profession is brutal, to say the least. You know, you're up for public scrutiny all the time. How did you get through those 37 years so gracefully? Because that's what we saw, right? But in your office, you encountered your own highs and lows. What were they?
I made a conscious decision that because my job takes away most of my time, and I don't get to have that enough quality time with my family, there are things that will be a no-no, you know, in my life. You know, to afford me that little time with my family. No nightlife, no invitations, no functions, nothing. The only function I will attend is where they say Mr. and Mrs. Grootboom. But unfortunately, I never received any invitation that acknowledged the fact that I have a +1, you know. So I just made a conscious decision that I will just not attend anything. My home will be my safe space, and I think that was a wise move.
Yeah. And there were many eras at the SABC, of course, which you encountered. Many people are blaming Claudia Motsoeneng and other people in charge of the SABC over the past couple of years for mismanagement, which is why we're seeing these retrenchments. What do you feel about all of that?
I think the only thing I can say about that, you know, I don't want to say much in case I'm misquoted. SABC has been a beautiful home for me for the past 37 years. All I can say now is that it is unfortunate that we are where we are. Mark my words, I still take myself as part of the SABC family. It is very sad. It is actually a tragedy that we are where we are at the SABC.
Yeah. And talk to me about when you first started, because you started off, of course, not being on air. And there's so many people in this country, people who can't even study now because they can't afford fees, right? We're seeing the fees protest, who want to get into journalism and other professions. You are proof that you can do it no matter what.
Exactly. I was a typist. I'm not ashamed of that. You know, some people are like asking me, Noxolo, aren't you uncomfortable about the fact that you were a typist? You know, but why are you saying that like all the time? You said it once, I think it's enough. Oh no, I'm proud of that moment, because that was my tiny, tiny window into the SABC. You know, that was the beginning of the person that I am today. That typist job was an opportunity that had to breed opportunities that led to the Noxolo that you're celebrating today.
Yeah, and you get to celebrate it in such style. You look amazing, by the way. I'm sure you heard that a lot over the past couple of days. So for those who are going through difficult times during this pandemic, there are lots of people, right? We know lots of people are suffering financially, emotionally, families have fallen apart. Your words of encouragement for them, because they look up to you, what would you say to them to uplift them?
I'm going to say this in isiXhosa. Ndifuna ukuthi kunibemi boMzantsi Afrika abazifumana bengamaxhoba ale ngxubakaxaka esijongene nayo yesisifo esingasaziyo into yokokubana siyakuphela nini na. Ndifuna ukuthi khalani esimantshiyane, ewe kulungile, kodwa yazini into yokokuba ekugqibeleni ubumnyama kufuneka budedele ukukhanya. Lizawufika ikhwezi lomso. The sun will shine again.
Thank you. That was powerful. I was getting a direct translation in my ear. Where to from here? What's next for you? Because this is not the end, obviously.
Are you really asking me that question?
Yes. This cannot be your retirement. You must be doing something else.
But
are you working on a book? What are you going to do?
Oh, I thought you wanted us to do the great reveal by now.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And we're not going to do the great reveal just yet.
Okay. Right. The most important thing to me now is to spend time with my family. I missed out on so many opportunities as my children were growing up. I don't remember attending a single school meeting. I even missed one of my children's matric dance. I don't even remember helping them out with their homeworks. But my better half, I call him my permanent. He was there all the time, supporting me. And, I just want to dedicate the first 3 months to them, to be what I could not be to them all those years. I know I cannot make up for lost times, but just the first 3 months, not to think about anything else, but go out there, man, dijole nomuntu wami.
So since you mentioned that, tell me, let's get the person behind the news. Tell me about your favorite music. I mean, I love South African music. I'm young, so, well, not that young. Amapiano is something I'm listening to right now. Tell me about your favorite South African things. There's so many things we can love and celebrate in this country.
Okay, music.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you now about my favorite South African artists. I'm vocally wounded, vocally embarrassed. This voice was made for talking, but not for singing. But just allow me to try and say, homeless. Homeless. That's my favorite.
Okay. You'll never know, eh? You'll never know. Maybe we'll see you with an album, because people are listening and watching. They'll try to use your name. So then, of course, you're joining eNCA. We've been punting this the whole morning.
Wow.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, different dreams at different stages. I never mentioned this to any of the interviews that I was doing, but it has been my ultimate dream to join the eNCA family, even if it's just for 6 months, 12 months, a year's contract, 2 years contract would do. But just to be at a different space, and eNCA was my favorite space. And I dreamt all along and all the time that I wish they could give me that opportunity. Just dreams. But I never anticipated that, those dreams would come too soon. I'm filled with joy, and I'm happy that your management has shown confidence, appreciation for the work that I've been doing at the SABC. And I'm happy that they were watching also during all this time, and were also yearning to have me join the family. The minute that they wasted no time and just showered me with this good news. Thank you very much. I'm happy. I'm looking forward to being part of this family.
I'm very happy. Thank you so much. And all I can do is applaud you for your amazing career and contribution to journalism. I had so many journalists message me to say, ask her about what she has to say to journalists who are struggling in this industry right now. People who are trying to reignite that flame to keep going, because we're still young.
Yes, you are.
We have a long way to go.
Yes, you are. You know, I think stop looking at some point, you know, I'm not saying it is not important, but at some point, just cease at looking at your jobs as, you know, a paycheck. Mm. Just let it be passion, an opportunity to serve. Just for once, look at it as an opportunity to serve, and the rest will follow.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate it. I was awake at 2:30 this morning, by the way, preparing for this interview because I was so nervous. That's who you are. I just want to say thank you so much from all South Africans, from eNCA as well. We appreciated everything you've done for us over the past days.
I was also very nervous, you know. I was like, what am I going to say? I have to impress my prospective new employer, you know. But thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
I'm glad to have been the one who got to do this interview. Appreciate it. We got you a little gift.
Wow.
So you're getting this all over the place. That's from us, from eNCA, the eNCA family.
Thank you.
It is a congratulations and a possible welcome to the family.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Mamfene Jambase Noxolo Grootboom Nkosi Siyabulela. Thank you so much for joining us here on the channel.